Picking a strand for senior high school isn't easy. What if I don't like it? Will I survive? What do I expect? If you have those questions, then your luck is in. This episode of Should You Take the Strand series, which is a long name by the way, we're going to cover everything you need to know about the HUMMS strand. HUMMS stands for Humanities and Social Sciences. And I'd like to introduce you guys to Otoha Ozawa. She's a very capable and very involved HUMMS student. She's part of the student council and she joins in many speaking and writing competitions. So in this video, we'll be covering all that you need to know about the HUMMS strand. Hey Otoha, if you could describe HUMMS in one word, what would it be and why?
In one word, the best way I think I could describe it is like writing. Like honestly, like seriously. Writing and like just like honestly to expound on that like a little bit. In HUMMS there's like gonna be a lot of writing involved. Like there's so many essays, just honestly, like a lot of the projects that we have to do are just like essay based and like thinking and analyzing and stuff. But like more on like writing, just like critically analyzing, like critical thinking and the skills on like analyzation and like taking everything into account is like something that's very a HUMMS related thing. And all of my subjects, especially the ones that are like specialized to the HUMMS strand, what we do is basically just think and write and just apply all of our concepts and our learnings to like the actual like real world. So I guess at its core there's gonna be a lot of writing involved, but
All right. You've been in the HUMMS strand for 2 years now. So what were your expectations going in and how were they affected?
Honestly, when I went into the HUMMS strand, the reason why I actually chose like to go into the HUMMS strand is because it was like by a process of elimination. I think a lot of people, because when I've talked to my fellow HUMMS strand mates or classmates, they also share the same sentiment with me. Like for some reason, we all chose by process of elimination. We like a lot of us aren't good at math. Like the applied sciences and math, we're very not good at that. So when we chose like a strand, we just chose something that we were good at, and we just so happened to be good at like critical thinking and analysis and writing. So we went into that. And I guess that's also like my first like basis into what HUMMS is. It's like not very like math involved, and it's very just thinking and like philosophical in like that regard. Which it is honestly. Like I've come to learn that in HUMMS, like as we're about to end our senior year. But I think something that I didn't expect, or it's like a pleasant surprise more of, is like how much you really get to apply critical thinking and how much you apply the concepts you learn to like real life. Because usually when you think, oh, it's like theoretical concepts and like frameworks, like you wouldn't really apply that to how you live your life. But you come to learn, like sometimes I'm talking to my friends and like in our day-to-day conversations we can apply our learnings to like how we perceive the world and like what we're doing. So it makes you more aware of how the world navigates just by a few concepts and frameworks. So
Okay, it's really great that you were able to learn those things. So what were the subjects in HUMMS and how did you like them?
Okay. So in HUMMS we have a lot of like subjects. There's like a lot of like specialized subjects and like there's some like core subjects now, but I guess like the ones that like stick out to me that they're like I think that are kind of like HUMMS related, they're like philosophy, disciplines in social sciences, disciplines in applied social sciences, there's community, there's political science, there's creative nonfiction, there's like 21st century literature. There's a lot of like these types of subjects. A lot of the subjects that we do have are like central to philosophy and politics, and also like literature. So like reading, writing, and like analyzing stuff. But we also have like CPAR, which is like something to do with like analyzing the arts. I forgot the acronym, but those are our subjects.
Okay, so what is one thing you're glad you did, when taking the HUMMS strand, and why?
Something I'm very glad that I did when taking the HUMMS strand, I think first and foremost is just like immerse yourself in what you're learning. I think, you know, before I went into like HUMMS, and when how I was just like navigating high school and like school in general, I would just like learn and do things for the sake of like learning, or not even for the sake of learning, like for the sake of doing the requirement and like graduating or like passing or something. But once you immerse yourself in like the lessons that you're learning, and like you really think like, oh, this is really gonna benefit me in the future. This is gonna benefit how I you know, like my career in the future, my career path, and like this is really like giving me more insights on the world, like, and you really come to appreciate all that you're learning, the experience just definitely gets better. Like it definitely gets like more worth it, like even though like there's a lot of things to do, and you know there's a lot of extracurriculars, and it's kind of like you just feel like giving up, like you know, at the end of the day it's just kind of cool to reflect and like think like, oh, I learned this much more than what I knew like going into it. So yeah.
Okay, so you're glad that, you know, you're able to have the personal reflection and it can help you in your future career. Okay, that's nice. So when taking the HUMMS strand, what is one thing you wish you could have done?
When taking the HUMMS strand, something that I wish I could have done, and just like in general for like high school, like just as a whole, I wish that I could have managed my time better. This is so important, especially because of the fact that like, especially in HUMMS, like applying to the concept of HUMMS, there's a lot of like thinking and writing involved. So like the subjects that we do, there's no like one formula to getting the answer. There's no one right formula. Everything is really contextual in how you view and understood the lessons that you have. And so it takes a lot of like brain power, and like you like exhaust yourself a lot. So like it's definitely important to manage your time, so that, you know, you have ample time to like rest and ample time to like do like the requirements that you have, and like just not like, you know, like if you overexert yourself, or if you underwork yourself, definitely like the results, like it'll not be good for you in the long run. So it's definitely good to like establish like a healthy balance for the things that you do.
Okay, so if you're taking the HUMMS strand, remember time management, energy management, and allocating time for rest and living healthily. So when taking the HUMMS strand, what is something you didn't like, and why did you not like it?
Okay, when taking the HUMMS strand, something that I did like, honestly, this might sound like very unbelievable, but like I genuinely really like all of like HUMMS. Like thinking back on it, like, you know, as we're about to graduate, fingers crossed about graduation, as we're like about to graduate, like you really reflect, and like even if things were hard, I personally, because like, you know, I genuinely liked the subject material that I was learning, and I genuinely like liked the people I was learning with, and I've made a lot of like good memories and like good learnings in the HUMMS strand. I think everything it was really good. Like I don't regret anything, or I don't think any like bad of anything. And I guess that also probably like contributes to like my personal mantra of like, you know, if like everything happens for a reason, and like you know, if you've experienced like a hardship or something, like the best feeling honestly is like after you get through that hurdle, when like everything is just cleared and you just get like the time to like breathe and just appreciate that like what you've gone through was done. I think that's the best thing. So yeah, HUMMS is pretty cool. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Really love the positive attitude. So how did you know that you wanted to take this strand? I think we covered this before, but yeah, would you like to elaborate again?
Just like very simplistically, me personally, I'm very not good at like a lot of like other subjects. Like honestly, like before I came to HUMMS, I was in like a process of elimination. So like first and foremost, I knew that strand wasn't for me. That STEM wasn't for me. Like the strand of STEM wasn't for me because I'm just like not good at like the applied sciences and math, like, you know, hard sciences and all that. And then the next is ABM, and ABM also has a lot of math involved, and also that is like not for me, which is like kind of like ironic because yeah, I'm like our student council's auditor, but like I really don't like math. But you learn to like love what you do. So yeah, so that's like, yeah, process of elimination, that isn't for me. And then it was in the crossroads of like gas or HUMMS, right? And I guess like something that really like sold me on like HUMMS is because again, because gas at least has like a little bit more math involved, because it's like everything, and HUMS is just like, you know what, you're just gonna get like one or two math subjects. Yeah, by the way, if I was describing it like there's no math involved like completely, you get a few general math courses, like, one or two subjects, so but it's not that bad compared to the other subjects, or compared to the other Strand subjects. But yeah, I guess for me, process of elimination was what got me, or what pushed me towards it. But honestly, like, I'm naturally like very interested in literature and politics and the arts, so yeah.
All right. And just a random question. If someone doesn't like math and doesn't like the HUMS related subjects either, would you still recommend them to take HUMS?
Okay. So in like a case like that where the interests deviate from like, like math, something like hard sciences and mathematics, to like they also don't like, like critical, like, like literature and like philosophy and like politics and all that. I think the best thing to know, because as important as it is to know what you don't like, it's also important to know what you do like. So like if you really can't find anything, then maybe it's best for you to go to the gas strand, where like you get a taste of like all of the other subjects in one, and you can make an informed decision, when you go to college, or if you want to switch strands or something, then you can do that. But like fortunately for me, even if I knew that I wasn't good at math, I knew that I had a shared like interest in something, which made me pursue it. But if you really don't know, then yeah, I think I recommend gas more to take than HUMS.
Okay, thank you for that advice. So let's say someone is considering taking HUMS. What should they know before making the decision?
Okay. Before taking like the HUMS strand, I think honestly, you just really need to know is like you just really need to psych yourself up for like the learning and immerse yourself like completely in like your surroundings, because like especially in something so like critical and something so like philosophical as like like HUMS, where everything, like all of the answers usually comes in like if it's not like pre-established like a theory or concept, you have to like you apply it into your life. It depends on like how you apply and how you see this concept being put into motion. So I think the best thing is really like to psych yourself up. And I guess depending on like where you're studying, maybe if you can like ask some seniors of yours like advice from like your professors or like your subjects or something, and to like borrow books or something, I think maybe that's like a good start as well. Yeah.
All right. So let's say someone already decided to take HUMS and waiting for the upcoming year. What would you advise for someone in preparation for that?
If someone is already like about to take HUMS, I guess I advise you to I think if you're very interested in it and you're very sure, maybe like doing some like advanced readings and stuff is already like good. Maybe you can go like to like look at the curriculums and like the subjects offered of like the like your seniors or something, if you're like a junior high schooler going into like to senior high, so you can like advance read. Like also in relation to what like the thing that I previously mentioned, asking your seniors, I think there was like also this notion before I heard from like my classmates that they like memorized this like pledge or like this like constitution from like like this like the government or something, because they heard from their seniors or their friends from upper levels that they had to memorize that, and it was like recitation based. And like thank goodness, like because we're in the online setup, that didn't really happen. Like we didn't have to do that. But I think maybe just getting your own inside scoop on like the matter really helps, especially in the environment that you're in. So like the school that you're in or like the place you're studying in.
All right, thank you. I think that's all the questions I had. But just before we end, are there any words that you want to say for future HUMS students or current HUMS students? Any words of encouragement?
I guess my final words would really just be like good luck and like do your best, and if you ever feel discouraged by like the workload, or like if you don't feel as though you're as competent as like your other classmates, you're not as skilled, just know that like, especially since it's HUMMS, it's the study of like people and like humans and all that. Like everyone's input really matters, even yours, even if you don't think that it's something of importance, it matters. And like everyone can bring like a new different perspective to the table, or even if it's the same perspective, you just simply having that perspective like further affirms already like the collective. So if you don't think that you're like, you know, you're skilled enough or like you're good enough to like stand with your peers, like you really definitely can. And also like not everything HUMMS related is like skill or talent based. You could also learn and you practice and you get better at like, you know, the subject and critical thinking and all that. So yeah, so yes, you can do it.
All right, thank you, Otoha, for all the advice that you gave. I'm pretty sure that it has helped a lot of people. Hopefully, I'm sure of it. But yes, thank you, Otoha, once again, and yeah, good luck to all the future HUMMS students out there. And that's the end of the video. If you want to know more about other strands, click here to watch the full playlist.